Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of Merlin Approved, right here from the Dragon's Lair in Las Vegas. Of course, this is full-time bodybuilding TV. Guys, this is going to be a very special episode, I have to say, because now, although she's been on the channel before, I have royalty next to me. She has been in the fitness industry competing as a pro for, I mean, how many years already?
27.
27 years competing. And how many times have you been in the Olympia?
9.
9 times in the Olympia. I've been to the Olympia 9 times at least, but I have not been in the Olympia at all. So yeah, so this is Jenny Worth, and many of you guys who've been around the sport for a while probably have watched her amazing fitness routines, some of the best ever, her strength moves, her acrobatics, all incredible. But I have her here today at the Dragon's Lair to train, and I'm gonna show her the Merlin style of training, which is very different from what she normally does. And hopefully she'll enjoy it, hopefully she'll feel it, and maybe it's something she can incorporate into her own program. So we're training back today, and we'll talk more at the end of the video about the workout and everything else. So welcome to the show, enjoy it, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay guys, the first exercise we're gonna do here is it's not quite a wide grip pull down. You see we're using this handle up here, which kind of gives you a semi-wide grip. It does work a lot of the upper back muscles because your elbows are gonna come out wide. We're doing it on an incline bench, so the body's gonna be leaned up against the bench, which is an interesting angle of pull rather than straight up and down. And then when the weight is brought down, when the bar is brought down to the chest, you wanna arch the lower back and bring the chest up high. The technique that we're gonna use on this is a 4 to 5 second hold in the contracted position, not only holding it there, but actually hyper contracting, which means basically actively squeezing all the upper back muscles. And of course, the negatives are always under control. A great technique for building all the muscles in the upper back. Here you go, Jim. Come on, hold. Come on. Use everything in the upper back. Good. Squeeze. That's it. Putting a lot of time under tension here. Here you go. That's it. Squeeze. Good. Everybody can see how she's using a full range of motion. She's going up to full stretch before she brings it down. Squeezing tight all the upper back muscles. Yep. Come on. Squeeze. Come on. Yep. Bring it. Go for it. Squeeze. Okay, good. Gotcha. Nice. All right, guys, so for the second movement, we're doing a low cable row. Again, we're gonna use the incline bench, one of my favorite things to do to change up angles on the body and also keep the movements more strict. I have the bench set to, I don't know, probably about 50 degrees, 55 degrees or so. This is something you can vary set to set or workout to workout, going a little bit steep or less steep, and you'll feel slightly different muscle fibers in the back working more higher up on the back or lower up on the back. This is gonna really hit the mid-back, upper mid-back. So as you can see, we're using a low cable, we're using a wide bar because we wanna be able to make sure that the bar is wide enough to get around the bench so you can get a full contraction. If you do not have that bar, then use a rope, because with a rope, you can still separate the rope and get that full contraction. The technique we're gonna use is just like in the first movement, we're gonna hold the contracted position for about 4 to 5 seconds at the top. And you'll notice that when Jenny does it, she's gonna be actually arching the back at the top of the movement after getting that full stretch, because that arch in the back is what's gonna help get a better contraction, so give this a shot. All right, guys, so watch how she does this. Full range of motion, full stretch at the bottom, arches, and she's holding that squeeze. As you can see, she is holding it with full intensity, squeezing that mid-back, creating more detail, more muscularity for the 2024 season. That's it. Watching here. Yep. Squeeze. Yep. Come on. Let's go. Squeeze. Come on. Squeeze. Yes. Come on, Jenny. Come on. Squeeze it up. Yep. You're still strong. Come on. Still strong. Squeeze. That's you. Come on. Gotta be a lot better next year. In that physique round, come on. Pull, squeeze. Yep. Come on. Up, get it. One more. One more good one. Here we go. Up, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, I got you. Nice. All right, guys, so next we're gonna go into a superset. Again, Coach Merlin is using the incline bench. I love the incline bench to, like I said, change up angles and keep the body really stable so the movements become very, very strict. So we're gonna start off, pre-exhaust the lats with a stiff arm pull down. You'll see that we're gonna lean our torso up against the incline bench and we're gonna do a really, really strict movement with a full range of motion. I'm gonna have Jenny come a little bit higher than eye level to start the movement and then come down to a full contraction. And what we're gonna do is gonna superset that movement with a high cable row using a close grip. What I'm gonna have Jenny do is I'm gonna have her hold the stretch on that movement for about 4 to 5 seconds before initiating the rep. Now remember, when you stretch a muscle under tension, that causes a lot of fiber damage. And when you have that fiber damage, that has to be repaired, and that means a bigger muscle. So that's what we're gonna do on the second part of the superset. So it's gonna be really, really great for building the belly, the lats, and lat width. So give this a shot. Good. Right at the top here. Down, squeeze, yeah. Right from here, initiate. Squeeze, good. Wide back. That pose you hit before, gonna be twice as wide, come on. There you go. As you can see, guys, it's a lot harder than it looks. It's a nice long range of motion, and it is really isolating the lats. Come on. Great way to pre-exhaust. Squeeze, there you go. See, she hits that stretch point right at the top, initiates with the lats, and squeezes with the lats at the bottom. Squeeze, right there, good. Good, okay, gotcha. Now we're switching the grip to the close grip. Flatten this out. Watch how she does this. She's gonna have 4-second stretch, 4 to 5 seconds. And then she's gonna come back, stick the chest up high, and she's gonna arch the lower back to get a contraction. Now what I told Jenny to do, and what you guys should do at home, is at the top where you stretch, you gotta let the shoulders release. If you try to hold the shoulders tight, the lats are not gonna stretch. So you have to let the shoulders release almost out of the socket before you initiate that pull down and that contraction. And like I said, that stretch under tension, that is an anabolic trigger. Muscles have to grow. Fibers get damaged, they must be repaired. This is a very long time under tension. It takes a lot of mental and physical focus and energy because every rep is taking literally about 8-9 seconds. Good, Jenny, come on. Stretch. Chest high. Good. Stretch. Good track with the lats, chest high. Good, there you go. A few more, come on. Dig into that muscle. Dig into it. Squeeze, yup. Yup, come on. Stretching deep. Coming back, arching, chest high, squeezing into the lower portion of the chest, which really works the belly of the lats. Squeeze, Jen. Yup.
Look.
Give me 2. Let's finish with 2 good ones. Come on, stretch. Squeeze. Yep, one more. And then a final stretch. Stretch it. Squeeze. One last good stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1 and release. Good, beautiful. All right, guys. I know what you're saying. Merlin, are you using an incline bench again? Well, yes, I am. However, I want to explain something. First of all, Jenny wants to improve her physique a lot. She's been training for a long time, and I've watched her train, and her training is a little bit ballistic in nature, moves kind of quickly, a lot of power, and now she's had some injuries and things like that. So one of the things I'm really trying to impart upon her is how to do movements with a little bit more control and a little bit more tension on the muscle, how to take the momentum out of the movements, and that's why I'm using a lot of incline benches today, because I think it's gonna help her to isolate her muscles better. She's not gonna have to use as heavy of weights, but yet she's gonna get more out of each movement. So what we're doing is what has affectionately been called the Merlin one-arm row, back from the days of Gold's Gym Venice. So again, we are using an incline bench. We have it set here to a little bit under, maybe like 45 to maybe 40 degrees or so. Again, that could vary a little bit. And you're gonna see the way Jenny's gonna do it. If she's working the right arm, she's gonna sort of cheat her body over to the right side of the bench, because we wanna make sure that the arm that's working is gonna clear the bench. So watch her position on the bench carefully. And also what I'm gonna have her do is I'm gonna have her grab the dumbbell towards the top of the dumbbell. What that is gonna do, it's gonna make the dumbbell tip backwards a little bit, because what we're trying to create from this angle and from the dumbbell is a pull towards the hip, not straight up and down. If you pull straight up and down, you're gonna tend to work more of the rear delts and the traps. But if you pull towards the hip, you're gonna work more of the belly of the lats, which is what we're after in this movement. So watch this movement carefully, and also do not, if you can one-arm row 120s, only try about 70, 80 pounds of this movement, because it's much more difficult, much more concentrated. Very nice, Jen, good, better. So guys, you can see how strict this movement is. With regular one-arm rows, there's a little bit of momentum involved, sometimes a little body torso twist. Here, the torso is stabilized. In this position, she's forced to just pull with the lat. And as you can see, she's pulling back towards the hip, not in a straight and up down line. That's gonna help engage the lats all the way for origin to insertion and get that wider look. Come on, up. Come on, good. Up, atta girl. Come on, Jen, up, squeeze. Pull. Nice, great work. As you can also see, she's working the left-hand side, so she's cheated her body over towards the left side of the bench to make sure that the dumbbell's clearing the bench. She's also using full range of motion. There's no half rep where she's only coming down halfway. She's making sure the lat's at full stretch and driving the elbow up and towards the hip. Yep. She's lengthening the lat, squeezing. Come on, Jen. Come on. Better than ever. Come on, up. Go to work, come on. Yep, a few more. Squeeze to the top, muscle it. Lat contracts, boom. Drive the elbow up, squeeze. Come on, up, squeeze. Nice job. Okay, so I was gonna be done with the workout, but then Jenny said she's having so much fun that she wants to keep going, so I'm adding exercises, right? Is that what you said?
That's great.
Okay, actually what we're doing is we're going out. I like to finish off back with a little bit of trap work and a little bit of rear delt work, so I think that they all work really well together to do them. So what we're gonna do is a very interesting type of shrug. Now, because Jenny's fitness, she's not a bodybuilder, she's not looking to build these big hulking traps to the top, we're gonna do an exercise that actually works more of the mid traps and the rear delts at the same time. So it's gonna be done here on a cable, a lower pulley cable, using a straight bar, and it's sort of like a hybrid between an upright row and a shrug. So you're trying to as if you're trying to upright row behind your back. So it's gonna be a short movement, because obviously you can't bring your elbows too high. So you start off the movement again, I mentioned that you can use a shoulder width grip or slightly wider than that. You have to see what's comfortable for you and where you get the best squeeze. But you start the movement off with a shrug, not with a shrug, with an upright row, and then you finish with a shrug. So you initiate the movement with the elbows, you bring it up as high as you can, and then you finish the movement with a little pinch at the top. So watch Jenny do this movement. It's not a long range movement. It's more of just a contracted movement, but it really, really nails the mid traps and the rear delts for that good detail back there. All right, guys, so the first thing I want you to notice is how she steps away from the pulley and she leans her torso slightly forward. This will help keep the glutes out of the way because you have to get the bar past the glutes. So you can see how she starts the movement from the bottom. You'll see she's going to initiate with her elbows as if she's going to do an upright row. When she gets as far as she can at the top, then she completes it by shrugging with the traps. Now as Dave takes the camera, comes around, you can really see right where it's working. Here in the mid traps, in the beginning of the movement, and at the end, a little higher into the rear delts and a little higher up on the traps. As you can see, it's a short movement, but you really, really seriously feel that contraction deep in these muscles. So if you're a competitor especially, and you need detail in the back, you need that 3D look in the traps, in the mid traps, this movement will really help you. And again, you don't want to do crazy weights in this movement because it's already a short range of motion. You don't want to shorten it. You want to focus on being able to get a full contraction at the top. So just use about medium weights. Somewhere around 15 reps is the right range. Good, Jen. Come on, details. Up, squeeze. Yes, nice set. All right, guys, so we're gonna finish the workout with a rear delt movement. I think you guys have seen me do this on the show before with Jen Dory, a few different people, but this is a movement I really want to give to Jenny. I think that she's actually taken this movement from me from another video anyway, but we're gonna have her do it here for you guys live. It's a single arm version of a rear delt fly machine. Everybody I've worked with who's done it in the method that I'm gonna show you how, when Jen does it, you'll see the body position and the range of motion. Everybody says that this isolates the rear delts a lot more than when they do the two-arm version, which happens to usually, for most people, bring a lot of mid-traps into play. Now, the mid-traps is something that we worked in the last movement, but that's what we wanted to do. Here we want to work the rear delts, we want to isolate them, so give this a shot in your own workouts if you have trouble isolating those rear delts. Okay guys, so you can see she's using the right arm and she's got herself in this position here on the right side of the bench. Left leg forward, right leg back. She's holding with the left arm, she's holding the bench to really stabilize her torso, which increases the isolation of the movement. You can see she's not grabbing onto the handle, she's just resting her hand at the top, using a grip where the palm is flat to the floor, and she's just pushing off the back of the hand. Really isolating this rear delt. Now one of the reasons why this isolates the rear delt so well is because in this position, it sort of prevents you from pushing back too far and engaging too much of the traps. So of course they do have to contract, that's just the way the body works. But we're getting a lot more isolation out of this rear delt. And as you can see, she uses a full range of motion from stretch to contraction. Make sure to hold that contraction for a second at the top. Squeeze. Excellent. All right, guys, so we just finished up our back traps rear delt workout. And of course, we decided we're gonna sit down and talk a little bit. And I have to ask Jenny the question that I ask everybody, especially when it's the first time that they have worked with me. Tell me how you liked the workout.
I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
Whoa.
Definitely learned a bunch of new tricks for myself and for my clients.
Oh. I love it. I'd love to hear it.
And she's worked with Milos too, so she's worked with some good people along the way.
Yeah, okay. Milos, you heard that. I've trained her too now. So what, like, I know that, I discussed a little before that, your training style, at least from what I've seen, I've seen you a little bit more ballistic, a little bit quicker in your movements, very intense. There's no doubt about it. And you brought that intensity into the workout right away. Like I could even see that even when using my techniques, you were like full on and into it. But what did you feel maybe different in using like slower movements, these longer tension times, some of the techniques we were holding squeezes and stretches? Did that help you to feel the muscle that you're working more, or how is it different?
So before we would do some slow movements in it and some squeezing, but not full workouts. So definitely you feel it a little more, right? So you can squeeze it, especially with all these injuries now. I can't go heavy like I used to, so it's more squeezing and isolation stuff that I'm going to be able to get it as far as just like the last movement of the workout or two in the middle of the workout. So basically more of the whole workout like that. It definitely feels different than just throwing them in here and there.
Okay. And then also, so like obviously you learned some different angles, and different ways that I tried to isolate the muscle. Did you feel that that was helpful for you again in, I think it's beneficial for everybody, but I think that it really benefits the people who have been training for many, many years and they've been using the same basic movements, which I think after a while the muscle fibers, you're hitting the same ones over and over again. Maybe you're getting a little bit stale. So I think that, creating these new angles, number one, you're hitting different muscle fibers that haven't been hit, but it's also interesting, and maybe you're, hitting parts of the muscle that you weren't getting before.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, especially with the incline, all the inclines, the benches that like forces you not to use motion or jerk of the body. So you're forced to stay in that position without any kind of movement. So that was really helpful.
Yeah, so I think that, like I said, I think it's beneficial for everybody, but for people who've been training for a really, really long time, or, you've been training, and there's wear and tear. I mean, if you've been training, 20, 30 years, the joints are worn down, usually you have some kind of injuries. So I think that this type of training really, really benefits, especially people who've been training for a very, very long time, in terms of the fact that you can't use as heavy resistance because we're moving more slowly, we're using techniques that are long tension times, and we're isolating the muscles more. So I think that it'll allow you to have more longevity in your career and to keep building muscle. So, you competed this year. You did the Masters Olympia, the first one in a very, very long time.
First one ever for fitness.
For fitness, true. That's true. Actually, for all the divisions except for I think it was just men's bodybuilding. And you placed fourth.
Yeah.
But tell people that literally you placed fourth. You won the routine round, correct?
Correct.
Which, her routines are sick. She's still doing, sick routines for the last 20-something years. Is incredible. But you weren't really been able to train barely. You had a shoulder injury for like the whole year. So you were like seriously handicapped going into the show.
That's correct. I tore my rotator. And so I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do pull-ups. I couldn't do back. I couldn't do biceps. I couldn't do anything. I had to save everything for the push-ups, the routine round. So I did the stem cell and that helped. So in Romania, I was like, took the break out. I took a little break when I was there, getting ready. And then after the show, someone suggested how to do the legions. And I was like, you know what? I think I could train now. The stem cell was kicking in. So I was able to do at least a little something. And then I did the legions. So my body was better, but imagine like training for longer and showing up next year.
Well, that's the thing.
And learning your techniques.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to so now that you've done, you've done the Masters O and you did the Legion, and your body is now healed, and you can actually start really training again. Do you have a plan? Do you know what shows you might want to do next year and what the thought process is? So
I want to do the Arnold because I have a lifetime invite because I won. So I just want to do that to be a part of it and do that for the first show, and then probably the Tampa. I'm not really sure what it looks like after that, but I do know I want to start the year off with that. Okay. Obviously, routine is something for you that you're always, you're doing something new. You're always trying to make it better. You always want to be excited. We expect from you. Physique-wise, what is your main goal? Like now you're in progress season, and now you can train again. So looking at your physique, what do you say? Like, okay, I need to improve this for next year. What's your main areas? So now that I'm not starting at 25% body fat, because I'm not going to get myself there anymore, I can actually, work, not instead of just getting body fat off. I need to improve my lats, my shoulders, and I need to get the glute and hamstring tie-in.
So she's excited about tomorrow.
Yeah, so you guys know we're not going to do. I don't think we're doing it on film, but tomorrow we're going to actually train some hamstrings. So I'm going to given some fun techniques for that as well. And hopefully in the future, I could work with her even more and help her to build a bigger, better version of herself in 2024. So what else? Dave, you have any other things that you want to add to this conversation?
No, I'm excited. I've been talking about you for a long time with her, so I'm glad that she got the chance to come experience herself today. It's
Trying to get his Cobra back.
Yeah. Dave has been known for
The
his
gorilla back.
Yeah. Okay. So the gorilla back and the cobra back are here, and we're gonna build. I don't know what kind of back we're gonna call your back.
I don't know. We got to think about
A combination of the two. So yeah. So it was a great workout, and I this is the first time I've known. I mean, listen, I've been in this industry. I've been in this industry for a long time. So I've seen her in the magazines. I've seen her at the Olympia. I've seen her a million times. And it's just great that, actually all this time I get to actually meet her. And the first time I actually meet her, I get to actually train her, which is absolutely amazing. And you absolutely killed it today. I mean, I never know how somebody's going to be when they train me, but right literally from the first set, when I watched her do the squeeze holds on the pull downs, I'm like, oh shoot, she's coming. She came to train. Her body was shaking. She was like fully into it. So it was absolutely awesome. So guys, I hope that you guys
She comes back. Vegas.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. You see, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get her back to Vegas as much as we possibly can. And of course, I enjoy working with her. It'd be great to help her for the 2024 season in any way that I can. But guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys got something out of it, learned some new techniques, things you could bring into your own training. We always ask that you like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and share the videos with others. We have a lot more coming your way. I'm sure you'll see Jen a lot more times. So again, thanks for watching, and we're out from the Dragon's Lair.